So I want to welcome all of you. Again, my name is Dr. Sheryl Duchess. I am a certified naturopathic doctor and national public speaker. I am the founder of the Institute of Naturopathic Wellness. I have a lot of my students on tonight who are just wonderful, wonderful human beings who have studied naturopathy with me. And they're just amazing people that want to get out and change the world. If you want to learn more about me and the Institute, you can go to drsheryl.net. But tonight we're going to do a deep dive in a subject that I think a lot of people are very curious about to understand what is GLP-1 and natural alternatives for weight management. So many people do struggle with that. But before I get started, I do want to let you know that our mission statement, my mission statement, is empowering our community with naturopathic education and being able to help natural education and breaking free from the disease management system and embracing a life of vibrant health, healing, and true well-being. That is my mission statement, and a lot of my students are taking that mission statement on. Before I go any further, I do need to let everyone know that this presentation has not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. Any products I'm talking about are not intended to treat, diagnose, or cure any disease. I want to talk a little bit about the hidden struggles of living with excess weight. You know, I've coached literally thousands and thousands of people throughout my lifetime as a naturopath. And this is some of the feelings that people have. And you might put a one in the chat if you relate to any one of these, like when you wake up in the morning, you just feel tired and you crash by midday. You feel like you need a nap by midday. Or you're always having cravings. So you're having blood sugar, always feeling hungry. And even right after you eat, you still feel hungry. Put a one in the chat if that relates to you. Joint discomfort. You've had a lot of issues with joint discomfort, knees, back, hip, elbows, shoulder. A lot of times carrying excess weight, we really get the problem with knees in particular. And then we have people that have tried dieting. Okay, you've tried dieting for many years. You've gone up and down the scale. You've lost 10, gained them back, lost 10, gained them back. How many can relate with that story? That was my story, actually. At one time before I became a naturopath, I owned a chain of health clubs. And I was really into weight loss, but I did it the wrong way. I was doing crash dieting. How many of you can relate to that, where you've done a crash diet, eliminated foods or calorie restriction, and you lost the weight, but then you gained it back? And many times you're going to find out why that you actually gained back more. Okay. How about the feeling of being uncomfortable in your own body and judged by others? Do you ever feel that feeling of like, hey, I just don't even want to go to a party because I've gained weight, or just feeling that feeling of shame? And then there's my mood, your sleep, your metabolism, just completely off. You just feel like your hormones are just out of balance. And then you've stopped doing the things that you love because of loss of confidence. So I think a lot of people can relate. And if it's not you, maybe you know a loved one or a family member that can relate to that. And that's why I'm doing this tonight. That's really why I'm doing this, because I care about you and I want you to be a victory. I want you to get victory over those feelings. Okay. Then we have our more mature population that really needs this, because as we age, carrying extra weight doesn't just affect the way we look, it starts to affect the things that we love to do. So we can't maybe play with the grandkids like we want to. We can't take that long walk on the beach because your hips or knees are hurting. You can't climb the stairs, whatever that is. But that's a reality. As we get older, it affects us even more, especially our joints. But what if you could regain that? What if you could find get the weight back and to really get your life back and get that weight just like where you want it? So my question to you is, do you feel like this girl? Okay. Do you feel full of energy? Do you feel mentally sharp? Do you feel emotionally, spiritually grounded? Lean, strong body weight, healthy, and physically active. That's my definition of a healthy human being. And if you don't feel like that, I hope that by tonight, we're going to point you in a direction that you can start to take charge of your health. And I think that you're going to get some really great education tonight, that things that might have been holding you back and understanding your weight issues. Okay. So here's a couple of things that I want you to understand. Fat is metabolically active. Okay. It's not just dead fat. Okay. It's metabolically active, and it takes up more space than muscle. If you look at that picture, when you have the same amount of fat on the scale to muscle, it looks a whole lot different, right? And adipose tissue creates hormones that promote growth and duplication. Leptin and TNF, tumor necrosis factor, is a signaling of cytokine proteins where it creates a lot of inflammation. So
Yeah,
more
but I can't
body
hear
fat,
very
you
well.
will have, you will have, please mute, everybody, please mute yourself, so that we can make sure that everybody can hear tonight. But here's the other thing, is that the results get a sluggish metabolism, and the excess adipose tissue leads to greater and greater fat activity. So again, every time you gain that 5 or 10 pounds, that's metabolically active. That's not good. It's not working in your favor. Okay. The other thing you need to know about fat is visceral fat is like a petri dish. So if you can pinch more than a few inches on your waist and your belly, then we're talking about that visceral fat, where that can promote things like tumor development. I don't want to scare you, but it is important to face the fact that fat becomes hormone producing, and it can cause more insulin resistant inflammation and produce the wrong kind of estrogen in your body. So this is just things to know, that, hey, it's not just about, I can't fit in my skinny jeans. I want to get the fat off so I can be healthy. The current medical status in the US, 18% of our adolescents are pre-diabetic, meaning that we have a lot of children now that even when they're young, they're carrying too much adipose tissue and they're metabolically pre-diabetic. And that's huge, 18%. 40 to 50% of people over 60 years or older are diagnosed with metabolic syndrome. That means high blood pressure, high blood sugar, and elevated cholesterol. And many times when you have metabolic syndrome, you will be carrying an extra 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 pounds. It kind of goes hand in hand. So why should you care about GLP-1, and what the heck is GLP-1 anyway? Okay, I'm going to do a deep dive for you, and I hope I make this layman friendly so
Yes.
you can understand it better. Okay, so GLP-1 is in your body, and it's your built-in metabolism regulator. All right. So again, please, everybody, please mute yourself so that we can make sure there's no background noise. Okay. So GLP-1, glucagon-like peptide, is the name of it, okay? And say that one 3 times fast. Glucagon-like peptide 1. That's why we shortened it to GLP-1. Is a hormone that plays a role in blood sugar metabolism and weight management. GLP-1 drugs like semaglutide, which is Ozempic and Wegovy, and then your trizepatide, which is Mounjaro and Zepbound, have become very, very popular because they do help people lose weight and they help people with blood sugar, but they have very serious side effects. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about that. Some of the
Yeah.
side effects are that we will create nausea. Can create vomiting, diarrhea, decreased appetite, heartburn, constipation. And most people will regain the weight when they stop, okay? But they must take it indefinitely to maintain the results, okay? And so there's really no clear exit strategy for these people. So it's like, okay, I'm going to be on this the rest of my life. Here's serious problems with this, is that we want to understand that people will lose muscle mass and bone, okay? Rapid weight loss can lead to that. And when that happens, I want you to look at this picture here, okay? This muscle here, nice, healthy, big muscle, is going to burn a lot more calories than this little shriveled up guy, okay? This is what we want. We want more muscle mass so that we can be very metabolically active. And when we do these synthetic GLP-1s, you run the big risk of really losing a lot of muscle and even bone, okay? And there's research behind this, all right? Now, the other one is digestion problems, okay? Nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, constipation. The other thing that can happen is pancreatitis risk, inflammation in your pancreas, which could be serious. And then dependency on the drug, because once you start it, you become more and more dependent. And what that means is just like thyroid medication. When you give yourself a hormone, this is a hormone, the body gets lazy and it doesn't make it on its own anymore. So it's like, okay, I'm getting this from external sources, but all right, then I don't need to make it so much. So now you get even worse. So when you stop it, you have less production than you did before. Okay. Because we actually make GLP-1 in our own bodies. Okay. And of course, the other thing is the cost. Okay. The real cost of GLP-1s, Ozempic, Wegovy, financial costs are anywhere from $900 to $1,400 a month without insurance. It's crazy money, right? Insurance coverage is very inconsistent unless you have to get a diagnosis from an MD, and then out of pocket can add up fast. $10,000, $15,000 per year, and a lot of times, again, long-term use is required. What's happening just recently is quite interesting, that the FDA regulations are changing, and the FDA is now removing compounded GLP-1s from the pharmacy. Wellness centers, nurse practitioners need alternative solutions for their patients, and the patients deserve a sustainable long-term approach. So a lot of these clinics that have been offering this, where you can go in and you can get them to do a compounding pharmacy, and they make more of a customized one, that is getting taken away very, very shortly, according to FDA regulations. So just be aware of that, right? The shift again away from the GLP is happening, and natural solutions are being sought out. We do know that, producing GLP-1 naturally can really affect your blood sugar and affect your weight loss without the negative side effects. And that's what I'm going to talk about tonight. So now let's understand a little bit more about GLP-1. So what I want you to understand here is that, hold on, I can't see my own slides here. Just a second. Let me move this thing around. All right. So the GLP-1 is a hormone produced by your gut. Okay, so it's made in your gut, in your small intestines, and helps regulate your blood sugar and your appetite. It stimulates insulin release to slow the gastric emptying down. So that's one of the things that we get a lot of people reporting, that they're less hungry, because they're slowing that time down. Their stomach is feeling full longer. It helps with being satisfied, reducing food intake, and that's how it works. So you see, it works in your brain, okay, causing the brain to send signals saying you're more satisfied, and it reduces the hunger. And then the stomach, actually, fullness increases and digestion is reduced. And then the pancreas, insulin is increased, and glucagon, which is in your liver, is decreased. So I'm going to get into that in just a little bit more explanation here. Hold on. Okay. So I want you to think about this as the GLP-1, the fat burning switchboard analogy. So think of it as being very smart, a smart switchboard operator in your metabolism. So when GLP-1 levels go up naturally from either supplement or medication, it starts directing the traffic, okay, of these hormones. It tells your insulin and glucagon what to do based on your blood sugar. So if your blood sugar is high, your GLP-1 turns on insulin to lower the blood sugar. Then number two, it turns off the glucagon to stop the liver from making more sugar. So it works in two ways, all right? But when your blood sugar is normal or low, it stops pushing out the insulin so you don't store more fat, and allows the glucagon to do its job. With the glucagon is going to help you burn stored fat and use fat for energy, and release it again for energy. And so instead of it burning off sugar, it's going to start burning off your body fat, which is really quite wonderful. Now, estrogen is another thing that plays a role in GLP-1. Estrogen influences GLP-1 function, enhances it, and as far as its appetite suppressing. And when estrogen drops, GLP-1 signaling may become less effective, making the weight management and blood sugar more difficult. So how many women here today that are with me, and you can put a 1 in the chat, and I'm going to look at that in a minute, but how many people that go through menopause go, I was fine until I hit menopause, and all of a sudden everything changed. I gained weight. I couldn't get the weight off. And this is why, because your estrogen definitely will affect your GLP-1. So you're like, okay, that explains it. So did you know that the body's natural metabolism booster, your gut, produces GLP-1? So naturally, your gut actually produces that GLP-1 peptide and signals your brain when you're full and regulates your blood sugar to promote burning fat. So your body is designed to control your appetite, burn fat, and stabilize blood sugar when everything's going right, okay? The problem is that many people struggle to produce enough GLP-1 due to the stress levels that everybody are under, poor gut health, like the microbiome health, again, antibiotic use, overuse of coffee, too much sugar, and our modern diet has caused our GLP-1 to not be produced in the intestines like it used to be. Now, how many of you know somebody, I love this picture, who's thin as a rail and eat everything that they want? And you're sitting there going, I'm eating a salad and I can't lose weight. How many people feel like, oh, I just hate her, right? Okay, well, here's what's interesting. Research shows that overweight individuals tend to have a blunted or sluggish GLP response, particularly after consuming a carbohydrate meal. This means that people who are overweight may not experience the same level of fullness and appetite regulation which can contribute to overeating. So I truly believe this is a GLP-1 culprit, that a lot of people that are gaining weight, they just don't feel satisfied. And so they're overeating, and they're also just low in that hormone GLP-1, which is going to help you. So I couldn't be more excited to talk about a new formula that has just come out about 6 weeks ago. And you're going to hear some incredible testimonies from people that are already experiencing amazing results on this. But I want to break it down for you to understand how this works. And this has none of those negative side effects that I just talked about. And it's natural. It's going to make your body produce its own GLP-1. Okay. So it's going to help regulate your appetite, you balance your blood sugar, and support that weight loss without a synthetic drug. And it's called Go Trim Thin, okay? So GLP-1, so what this does, it's going to enhance your own body's ability to produce it. It's not a synthetic drug like the giving yourself that hormone. It's going to stimulate your own body's production of it. And again, it's going to help burn fat, create energy, and create that healthy metabolism. Now, there are several formulas in here, but two big guns that I'm going to talk about in depth that make up this formula. So it has what we call tribiome and iromin, okay? And they're both scientifically studied to help produce more GLP-1. Instead of forcing weight loss, the Go Trim Thin targets your metabolism and helping you achieve long-term results in a healthier, more natural way. So the Iramin is the first one I want to talk about. It's clinically studied and patented, and it is citrus polyphenol extract that helps restore that metabolic balance for you. So it's going to create that GLP-1 peptide in your gut, and it's going to stimulate adiponectin. Remember that word adiponectin, because I'm going to go a little deeper in another slide. But it also promotes populations of beneficial gut bacteria. So we know that research shows that when our bacteria is not right in our gut, it tends to cause us gain weight. When it's balanced and we have healthy microbiome, we will have a better results as far as losing weight. That's clinically proven now. So again, this formula has 200 milligrams of this lemon fruit extract, okay, or Iramin. And again, it's going to work on that blood sugar stabilization, oxidative stress, so it's going to fight free radicals. It's going to support that insulin function and help produce that GLP-1 and help with the curb the craving. So this is one of the formulas that's really going to help with the cravings. Now, I told you about adiponectin. Adiponectin is actually the fat burning hormone that your body needs. adiponectin is this powerful hormone that released by fat. So it's released by your fat cells. Unlike the other fat-derived hormones that can contribute to weight gain, adiponectin helps you to lose weight and stay healthy. It also stimulates AMPK, which I'm not going to get into tonight, but that one, and maybe another time I'm going to dive in. That's an enzyme that helps the mitochondria and energy and just helps you just feel better all the way around. And a lot of people do intermittent fasting and exercise will produce AMPK. When you have more AMPK, you're going to feel a lot better and you're going to have a lot more energy. But this is going to support your total body's burning of fat very efficiently. All right. And it also promotes a group of beneficial bacteria called Rumnococcacea, and that's a hard one to say, but it's going to help that microbiome. So building up that friendly bacteria in your gut, and that's going to, again, help that GLP-1. And then there's two studies that I wanted to put on the screen here. Participants that did 200, that's the same amount of the Ehrman daily for 12 weeks, 22% increase in GLP-1 and 6.5 reduction in fasting blood glucose. So that's incredible, right? Then another study by Food Science and Nutrition actually showed that same amount of that Ehrman 12-week study, reduction in hyperglycemia and increased GLP-1 secretion, and positive modulation of gut microbiome. And that's what we're looking for, right? Now, the other formula called Tribiome is a very powerful short-chain fatty acid. And these are peptides produced in your gut to efficiently reach the bloodstream and be incorporated in your circulation. We think of these as the gut's secret to fat burning. Okay, it optimizes that GLP-1 again and helps with the hunger. Okay, it's going to help again with transporting that GLP-1 from the gut to the bloodstream where it's going to affect. All right, so it's very, very powerful. All right, the other one is a mulberry, which it helps to reduce hunger and supports fat metabolism. And these compounds, again, block the enzymes responsible for breaking down complex carbohydrates and sugars. So this is going to help, again, blunt those elevated blood sugars, and that's going to be amazing for you. And that's going to slow that carbohydrate digestion down. So it's really going to help for anybody that does have like a pre-diabetic or diabetic. This is another really good formula in this compound. And then the last one, very powerful. Saffron has been studied a lot the last few years. And saffron is a very expensive spice that we use in foods, but it has the ability to impact those that have emotional eating. So a lot of times people will eat out of just emotion. They're like, they get upset, instead of grabbing alcohol, they're just going to grab a box of, chips or cookies, and they're going to start to eat. This is where the saffron is really going to come in. And saffron is going to help with that key brain pathway, controlling whether your body stores calories or burns them for energy. So saffron is going to help with the mood and make you feel just happier all the way around. So saffron, again, is going to help with your appetite, with satiety, making you feel satisfied and helping boost that metabolic rate as well, and shifts your body weight towards that fat burning. Okay, so how do we take this? Okay, we're going to take 2 capsules with food. It's super, super easy, very inexpensive to do. And again, this is going to help activate the gut-based hormones like that GLP-1 and help assist with the signals in the brain to counteract that cravings for emotional eating, and going to help make you feel fuller. All right, and it works with the mitochondria and the microbiome. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually stop my share for a moment. I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to say to you guys, is this working? And I have a few people who are actually going to share a testimonial with you guys. Now, this product has only been out for a few weeks, okay, about 6 weeks or so. So we're going to hear from some people that are actually experiencing it. And the first one I'm going to hear from, she's actually a student of mine, Linda Principe. Would you go ahead and unmute yourself, honey? And I'd love for you to just share your testimonial.
Thank you, Dr. Sheryl. Yes, I've been on it for 6 weeks now, and I've lost 6 pounds. And I have to testify to the fact that it takes my appetite, has diminished my appetite enormously, especially at night. I just don't snack the way I used to.
And so that was your weak point. You just snacked at night, and so that was your trigger. Yeah.
Absolutely. I
And
couldn't
that's
stop eating at night. That was my
okay.
big problem, but I'm
Yeah.
not even doing that now.
And you don't even crave it anymore. That's huge. That's huge. And as someone that has been a health and weight loss coach myself, nighttime eating is probably the worst. It's the worst time that we do all those bad eating habits, right? Because then we go to bed and we just start storing all those calories instead of burning them. That's incredible, Linda. Thank you so much. I have another guest on here who is also had amazing results. Wendy, would you share your experience with the new natural Go Trim Thin?
I have been using it also for 6 weeks. And I was that one person, like Dr. Cheryl mentioned before, that she knew how to do it all. I'm a health professional, as a personal trainer and health coach, and I help people. I bodybuild and I've put myself through diets and done it. I know what to do and how to do it, but nothing was working until I tried this. I knew that there was a hormonal issue going on, being that I'm over 40 and going through perimenopause, and the frustration was incredible. And I was praying that this worked. Within the first 10 days of taking this product, I immediately started dropping the weight. I didn't have the anxiety in the morning that I was waking up with. I noticed the weight from the cortisol levels all around the waistline. That was the first thing that I noticed going down. It's visible fat that is going away. Energy levels increased. Motivation was top high. I feel myself again. Like I couldn't. The person I had become, I didn't recognize anymore, and all of a sudden she was back, and it's continued to, in the 6 weeks, I've continued to drop weight for a total of 12 pounds now.
How much?
12.
12. Oh my God, that's amazing.
And
Wow.
and I have someone here that I don't know if she wants to give her testimony or not, but she just told me she's lost 7 pounds. And I know it was a client of mine, Susan, and I don't know that she wants to speak, so I'll just share it. She's lost 7 pounds since she started taking the GLP-1. So it's been for her, I think, like 10 days. And she's down 7, and nothing was working for her either.
Wow. Oh my gosh, that's so exciting. Susan, congratulations. That's very exciting. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, I'm going to share. I actually reached out to a nurse practitioner that is a colleague of mine, Tina Rose, and she's had some really great reports as well with some of her clients. And so, Tina Rose, I recorded this today. So here we go.
Kathy Luce, starting on day 5, appetite suppressed. And she used to always snack attack, and could not go through the evening without snacks. And by day 5 of being on the thin consistently, she had no snack attacks, never snacked, never felt hungry in the evening, always felt like she was satisfied. And that lasted for the next 3 weeks while she was on it. She never had any snacks. And she lost, I believe, another 4 pounds from what she had already been doing. Another one was my new partner, Madeline, who dances with Fred Astaire, does ballroom dancing. And she was putting on too much weight, and it was affecting her gluteal tear and her knees. And so she and I had started a Go Trim 12-week session with a group, and she was doing it and had already lost about 8 or 9 pounds before she started the thin. But she was always hungry. And she said that, again, after about 5 days, she felt full all the time. She didn't feel like eating. She said her biggest problem was reminding herself that she had to eat because she wasn't hungry. And that was a real good problem to have because she worked on the road too. She was out a lot and used to have to prepare everything. I've got Tom on it now for just about 2 weeks. And I've noticed he's snacking less. He won't admit it to me, but he was a snackaholic, always hungry because he did have esophageal cancer. So he has technically a smaller stomach, but his stomach regrew and he put on the weight back, and he exercises like the dickens. But I've always told him you can't out exercise a poor diet, and his diet isn't the best. And he's noticed a difference already in 2 weeks. Now, and Bobby Porter, also, gym owner, going through menopause, felt like she couldn't get rid of these last 10 pounds. And she tried the slim wasn't really helping her. She was giving the thin 1 month. She never got on the scale. She wasn't noticing much of a difference because she always ate healthy. But when she got back on the scale, she was down 6 pounds in that 1 month. And she's not heavy by any stretch, and nothing else she said changed, not her exercise habits, not her eating habits, anything like that. So those are some of the testimonials. The nurse practitioners, I sponsored one nurse practitioner about 3 weeks ago. She's already sold them, and her patients are loving it because they know they can't, they don't want to get on the GLP-1 injectables because they have the side effects. And she's been doing weight loss and aesthetics in her practice. And she was using the injectables for some people, but now she's switching them over, and they're having success without gaining weight back. And we're hoping to improve their metabolism because the injectables kill the metabolism. So
You'll see my screen okay?
That's,
Yeah. Okay, good. All right. So what I want to just share with you now is the good news is this stuff is very, very affordable. Okay. It's only $69.95 to try this, and you just take 2 a day. So it's super, super, super easy. And now I'm going to show you guys some stuff. I don't always just say, okay, just take a pill and life's going to be great. I'm going to teach you about how to find some recipes and really looking at low glycemic eating, because I believe that health begins with your diet. But also I do believe that people have hormone imbalances, and this GLP-1 can really, really help. So I want to talk a little bit about this. I want to just share with you. For years, I have taught this as a naturopath, that to maintain our healthy weight, we must eat where our blood sugar stays stable all day long. When we eat too much sugar or too many carbs, it spikes our blood sugar and we go into fat storage mode. And then as soon as that drops off, again, it drops down and it goes too low. Okay. When you eat a bagel or a bowl of cereal in the morning, it's going to go up. It comes crashing down because there's no protein, no fiber. And I absolutely love what's called the Go Trim website or lifestyle program to coach my clients, because it teaches you wonderful, wonderful recipes. It teaches you how to eat for life. And the programs that are there are just absolutely incredible. And so what I'd like to do now, I'm going to actually go one more. I'm going to take you on a real quick little tour. See my screen. Can you see the Go Trim website? Yes? Give me a thumbs up, please. Okay, very good. Okay. So what I want to show you, because we have guests on, they're like, what is Go Trim? I've never heard of this. Okay. They have spent literally millions of dollars on this website, and it has helped thousands and thousands of people lose weight, even before the new Go Trim Thin product that I'm talking about tonight. It has other things like helping you with your thyroid and helping with blood sugar. And there's a lot of formulas in here, but I'm not showing you this just to talk about formulas. I'm showing you this because I want you to know where to get the education so that you can download the recipes and look at how you can be eating so much food and help the Go Trim Thin so that your body is going to work and never have to gain weight again. Okay. Because we have to look at lifestyle. So for example, let's say that you're wanting to do maybe a detox, and you're like, and I'm a big believer in bowel and liver detox. You would go to this page and you would literally just look at all the beautiful recipes you get. It teaches you everything you need to do, all the
what are
rules,
you doing?
download all the
Wait.
recipes, and it's just absolutely incredible when you are trying to learn to eat new lifestyle, right? A lot of times you're like, I don't know what to eat. I'm stuck in the same groove. This will help you, and especially doing a detox will really accelerate your weight loss goals. And if you did that with the Go Trim Thin, just masterfully, like, it's just so amazing when you do a detox. But that's just one of the programs, okay? The other program that I want to show you is, let's say you want to do a little more slow, go like continued commitment. You might have a little more carbs, a little more things to do, but there's a complete program for whatever your lifestyle is. It's going to have recipes for you. And I'm going to share with you, again, one of the programs that we've been so successful with is the 30-day Jumpstart. But I just wanted to show you where you can go to see all the different programs and look at them and say, you know what, I think I like this program. This is where I'm going to start. But a lot of people love this one. This has been one of the most popular ones, where it's the 30-day Jumpstart. It comes with an amazing kit, and I'm going to talk about that in just a moment. But it comes with different vitamins and shakes and another supplement. But this is really laid out to where you really now go after your detox, and then you go right into phase 2, into the fat burning program. But it does have everything you need with recipes and all of that. Then I want to just show you, just you think, like, if you're a guest on here and you're like, well, are people really losing weight and are they keeping it off? And it's just incredible. So many people have lost weight and kept it off. I mean, just take a look at some of these success stories. 30 pounds. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. Just so many amazing success stories. So this is where you need to go. And again, Resources has videos for you, educational videos, but I just wanted to show you the website. And now I'm going to go back to the PowerPoint because I really want to finish off here. All right. So I'm coming in for a landing. What I want you to do is contact the person who invited you, okay? So they can help you customize what you need to accomplish your weight loss goals. You may say, you know what, I just want to try the Go Trim Thin. I've tried other things and I just want to try that. Or I want to go to one of the recipes but get with the person that invited you. And again, the Go Trim Thin is only $69.95 if you want to do the 30-day Jumpstart, which is really, really popular and help clean out your bowel and liver. That one is only $199 for all of those supplements. And you maybe want to add the Go Trim Thin to that as well. And so if you are the type of person, you're like, I want to dive in, I want all of it. And you're like, now we're doing something very special. If you are a first-time buyer and you're a guest tonight, if you're brand new, we're going to offer you a 10% off on what you order tonight. So get with the person that invited you ASAP within the next 24 hours, and we will do that for you. Okay. And just closing it up, I'm going to say something. You are worth it. Okay. You're worth it to invest in your health and get your weight where you want it to be. And more importantly, get your health where you want it to be. So you're feeling like $1,000,000. Okay. It's never too early or too late to start taking care of your health. And it's never too late to start improving the quality of your life. All right. So if you're a nurse practitioner or a health practitioner tonight, and you want to learn more about how you can bring these type of programs into your practice, please reach out to us. We love working with other practitioners that want to go more holistic, and we can get you more information about, again, how to educate your patients on a more natural approach with the GLP-1s. We'd love to chat with you and support you on your journey. And again, if you're interested in joining our mission, again, we're empowering our community with naturopathic wellness education, breaking free from disease management system, and embracing a life of vibrant health and healing and true well-being. All right. Well, I want to thank all of you for attending with me tonight. It was so much fun to do a deep dive into this subject, and I hope you've got a little more education on what the synthetics do, and also now having a great formula that can really help stimulate your own GLP-1 production. I want to thank all of you. God bless you, and thank you, and hope to see you at the next lecture.